Hey everybody, welcome back to Sounds Like a Drum, Cadence Independent Media Production Snare Spotlight Day. We are showcasing this amazing snare drum from 3rd and 4th Drum Company. I gotta say, this is one of the most interesting drums that has come to the studio ever. It's really unique. Everything about it is striking to the eye. As you'll see later, the sound is also bananas. Let's get into what it actually is first, because there's a lot going on here. 3rd and 4th Drum Company started out just making snare drums. They have grown into a rental house, and this is one of their custom snare drums. This is an 8-ply drum with 6 plies of maple in the center and a ply of Zebrawood on the inside and the outside. That's part of what gives it this amazing grain look on the outside that it almost looks like a wrap or something. It's bananas. This drum is outfitted with tube lugs, single flange hoops and claws, black tension rods, and a fairly standard kind of strainer mechanism that's in line color-wise with the sort of copper finish on everything. It really kind of lends itself well to matching the tones of the wood on the outside. And additionally, we were actually told by them that this drum really loves Calftone batter heads, so we went ahead and put a fresh one on there today to get into. They're right about that. It's really incredible, especially considering that we've all played ply drums in our lives. We've all played maple ply drums at some point in our lives. This has really changed my expectations of what that kind of construction can do. All right, we're way into the details now. Let's hear what this thing sounds like. It's a really articulate drum. It's really dry. It's got a big note. It's got fatness to it in the center. And I really love the articulation, particularly to the edge. I was really surprised by that. I think that is owing to the fact that they have a really special bearing edge, which is to say, rounded over slightly on the outside with a 45 in cut, but the round isn't, it's not like a baseball bat thing. It's very, very subtle. And then the contact point itself is fairly sharp, but it's not right on the outside the way that a traditional 45 might be. This brings us to another thing that actually has been a topic of conversation here recently, which is that the idea of describing a drum by its plies in our minds sometimes tells us something about how thick the shell is. 8-ply snare, but the plies are really, really thin. So when you pick this drum up, it's very, very light. And at the same time, that's what's getting us that lower fundamental, that fatter sound, but also a certain kind of dryness that almost takes it into aluminum territory. It's got some aspects to it that are almost acrolite-like. Now, because of those qualities that remind me of an acrolite, immediately I want to tune this down low and see what it does down in the gutter with no muffling at all. Overtones for sure, but this is an incredible sound with nothing on it at all. We have a thin Calftone on top. I didn't change the snare side tuning at all. I didn't change the wire tension at all. I just tuned it down. It feels so good. It's pillowy and fat and also giving a lot of rebound back. It is also worth mentioning too that in my experience, single flange hoops with claws tend to give the drum a really, really different sound overall, and a different feel. I haven't played a lot of drums that have that on them before, and this is making me fall in love with that feel. Everything about it feels lighter, and also when I hit it, I feel the stick going almost into the hoops in a way. It's hard to explain, but some drums, when you hit them really hard, the whole thing is kind of a stiff experience, and this is just warm and forgiving all the way through. These hoops also give this drum a really unique and interesting cross stick sound, which is woodier and warmer and just a little bit less aggressive than any other kind of hoop that you could ask for. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, with a drum like this that does medium and does low so well, you never know what's going to happen when you crank it up, and I am super excited to find out. At this tuning, it's giving me ska feelings, it's giving me punk feelings, it's also giving me orchestral feelings because of the sensitivity to the edge and the fact that even with regular drum set sticks, regular old 5As, it doesn't feel stiff or choked or tight. It's got articulation all the way to the edge. I'm having no trouble keeping the wires tight and having articulation or loosening them up a little bit to fatten up the overall behavior of it. Getting into the fit and finish of the drum, all the edges are beautiful, all the hardware is beautiful, it's all fitted lovely, there's grommets under everything, and there's also an interesting texture-coated finish over the entire drum, the hardware, the shell, everything, which gives it an even more kind of rustic, almost like a barn or something, you know. It's super organic. It feels old. It reminds me of Radio Kings and things like that just have that kind of funky character to them, and I love it. Now, you might be wondering, like I was, how they came to the name Third and Fourth Drum Company, and it's actually a reference to the generations of the family that Edwin Rivera is a part of. He's the third Edwin Rivera, and his son is the fourth. And it's a family company kind of now, you know, like he's looking to the next generation. And in doing that, he's also very committed to making these incredible instruments at a price point that working drummers can afford, which is really not always the case these days. There's a lot of kind of heirloom instruments out there that are priced like an heirloom rather than priced like an instrument. And these fall in the category of looking beautiful, giving you that vibe, giving you that sound, and also just not breaking the bank, making it something that you're not scared to take to the gig and hit a lot. All right, that about wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in checking out Third and Fourth Drum Company and all the things that they make, follow the link below. Thanks so much to Edwin for sharing this drum with us and for sponsoring today's Snare Spotlight. We really appreciate it. I had a blast with this drum, and we look forward to the next one.